I'm Diana Bowden, and in 2019, after the collapse of Thomas Cook, my boyfriend worked for Thomas Cook, and he would tell me all the stories about people who had been working for in the company for 30 years, 25 years, couples who both worked for the business, whose household income had just been wiped out, and really people were sort of, they didn't know what to do. They were like rabbits in the headlights. What do I do? I've been in this job for so long, I don't know anything else. So what I did was I got together with a number of local businesses in Altrincham, which is where I did a lot of my networking at the time. And I put on an event, and it didn't cost me a penny because I managed to blag everything. We had about 10 speakers who all gave their time for free. We had a local photographer who did headshots all day, free headshots for people. And we just tried to make it a really positive day, but informative. And, you know, we didn't want it to be dwelling. We wanted it to be personable. We wanted it to be informal. And it was brilliant. We had potluck lunch that was donated by lots of different businesses. Again, I literally did not spend one penny. I even blagged the raffle tickets for the raffle prizes that had been donated. And afterwards, it was brilliant. And afterwards, the feedback we got both from the people who attended and from the people who delivered and gave their time to help was brilliant. They just said how it was such a great thing to be part of, and helping others was, you know, it really made them feel good. And it was small businesses. It was one-man bands. It was, you know, there wasn't the biggest organisation involved was I managed to get 20 quid gift card out of Marks and Spencer's to buy milk and sugar. But there was, you know, the Con Club in Altrincham lent us their coffee machines and all the coffee and filters we needed. And it just made me think about how a community can come together to help people who are in need, really. And the other thing that I thought was that, you know, once people are made redundant, on the day they finish work, they are 100% work ready. But the longer they stay unemployed, the more difficult they find it to become employed again. They lose confidence. They don't know how to navigate the new, you know, some of them, I remember somebody saying that the last time they applied for a job, they applied for it in the Sale and Altrincham Messenger. And they phoned up and they had a quick chat on the phone, and they went in the next Monday. You can't find a job like that anymore. So I decided to set Let's Go Forward up as a community interest company. So we are a not-for-profit. I went and got myself a part-time job because at the time I was working for myself. So I now work 2.5 days a week for as an employee for somebody else. And so I end up with my customers as well, I end up with about 1.5 days to look after Let's Go Forward. The idea was to create a community of people who can all help each other. So from I currently work in the public sector, the private sector and the charity sector. I have worked in all three sectors previously as well. And I think a lot of the public sector stuff that's done, it concentrates so much on cost of the public purse. Obviously, there is no public purse at the moment. There's a big hole in the bottom of it. So if you can get people to help each other, that's free. So, for example, Alan joined us on our last JobNet, and you know he has made friends with people that he can contact if he's got an interview and he's feeling nervous, and he's like, oh, he's got a cheerleading squad that will say, right, Alan, you've got this. You know, you can do it, and that's not cost anybody anything. It's not cost me my time volunteering. That is just people helping each other out. It's like DIY SOS, best program on telly. Everybody, and what I love is that everybody gives what they can. So for some people, it's it's that they can give an hour of their time. For other people, like the extremely generous Tony, you know, he gives sort of 6 hours a week to help facilitate JobNet with me. So I want it to be somewhere where people can. We have a little task force of women that get together, and we had a meeting last night. We've got putting in a bid for a grant And everybody said, right, I'll do that question, I'll do that question, I'll do that. So it is collaboration and community at its absolute finest and simplest. But the other thing is that there is very little offering for people who are skilled, experienced. And I like to think of it, instead of being long-term unemployed, they are long-term employed, recently unemployed. So it's not about trying to get people skills. They've got them. They need to learn how to present them. They need to have faith in themselves. So the idea originally, we set up in February last year. The idea was to run more of these events where people were in the same room as each other. Yeah, that didn't go so well. However, in August of last year, we were introduced to an organisation in Dublin, which is a charity called Job Care. And they run a course called JobNet, which is for unemployed professionals. The idea being it is, again, for people with the experience, the motivation, and the skills, but just who don't necessarily know how to navigate the market and just need a bit of help, just need a little bit of hand-holding. So the way that it works, they let us use all their facilities. So they do a presentation on a Tuesday morning. This week is LinkedIn week. And so there was a presentation by LinkedIn yesterday. And then what we have is we have a small group. So our group at the moment is 4. So myself, Tony, and another facilitator work for 2 hours on a Tuesday and 2 hours on a Thursday with those people. And they have a weekly plan. They are accountable to themselves for what they're going to be doing. We talk through what's been discussed in the presentation. It is your little tribe. It's your tribe. We've now had, excluding the current group, we've had 23 people through the programme, and 78% of them have now found work. And a lot of them, we've not found them the job, but we've given them the confidence to find the job, or we've opened their eyes to networking, which they wouldn't have thought about. So they found a job in that way. So the main work that we do at the moment is for JobNet. We also want to, so once we can start meeting, we do want to start putting other events on, talks, more targeted events, maybe if people are looking to start their own businesses and things like that. So what we're doing this month in April is volunteering month, and that's why I'm here. So we've got a fan, even, just because he invited me here, Tony is one end of the scale of volunteering. So, he does 6 hours a week, helping other people, and it's inspiring, isn't it? I mean, Tony, you've come back for you. Not you. I'm not talking about you being inspiring. You are inspired, but it is. Yes, it is. It's a great feeling helping people. I've got so, it is very hard work, but it is so good. So, we've got opportunities for people to give 6 hours a week to help people. So maybe looking at people like Tony, trying to retire and not doing a very good job of it. But then the other thing is, each JobNet cohort has a mock interview. So the other thing we're looking for, this could be a 1 hour, one-off session anytime. And all it is, it's a half an hour interview and a half hour interview and a half hour feedback, which you don't get feedback from an interview. You get told, oh, your interview was great, but you didn't get the job. You don't actually get told, well, actually, you didn't answer this question properly. So people find those, I don't know if Alan, find it really, really valuable. So again, if you've ever interviewed somebody, if you've ever read through a CV, and you think you can help somebody, Sandra, from your point of view, I'm sure that you've got loads of input. One of the things that we do with regards to coaching is, as part of JobNet, everybody gets 3 one-hour sessions of coaching from a volunteer coach, a volunteer career coach. Now, currently, we tap into because job care is funded by a number of different people, we don't receive any funding from anyone at the moment. They let us use their career coach. So again, what I'm looking for career coaches who would be willing to do 3 1-hour sessions over the space of 7 weeks. Really.
Sign me up.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sandra. But again, it could be anything. I mean, the ladies that are on our task force, some of them are administrators, some of them are project managers. They add their professional skills. Some of them are marketers. And I want to be able, I get disappointed when I hear about companies having CSR days where all of the people go and stand on Market Street with shaking a bucket. And I think that's a shame, because I think the value of an hour of somebody's time could be much better paid than. So if you've got a web designer standing shaking a bucket and he raises 30 quid, surely it would be better for the web designer to say, hey, why don't I spend an hour looking at your SEO? Or so this is what I want to try and do. I want to try doing volunteering a little bit. I was going to say more cleverly, but that doesn't sound very English. So that's what we're trying to do. So what I want from you guys today is, if anybody's got any time, if you just want to find out more about what we do, more about what we want, what we're trying to do, then please get in touch, have a look at our website, see some of our testimonials. We've got some absolutely fantastic testimonials from people. And tell people that, you know, whether it's people who are just thinking, you know, I'd like to do something meaningful, but I don't really have the time. You know, I'd like to help someone else, but I can't go and work in a charity shop for 12 hours a week. You know, we can find, you know, not every business has to have a CSR that involves sponsoring a kids football team. You know, your CSR, everybody can do CSR, and we want to make it accessible for everyone. And then again, if there's anybody that you know who's out of work, we don't work with long-term unemployed simply because there's barriers that we can't help with. So we kind of go for the low-hanging fruit. I don't like to talk about people as low-hanging fruit, but you know, the people who have got the skills, have got the motivation, have got the experience, they just need somebody to say, right, come on, we'll walk you through this first bit. And what I love is the way that we see, maybe in about week 3 or 4, me and Tony don't have to do so much because everybody starts helping each other. And that's me. I'm sorry, I don't know how long I've talked for.